All right, we are Elder Millennial Digital Nomads, or EM Digital Nomads. I'm Seth. This is my wife Amanda.
Hello.
And we decided to do a video as complimentary for our blog post about everything that you should do to go visit the Panama Canal. More specifically, Miraflores Locks, which is really going to be the best option for about 95% of people visiting. If you're in Panama City, you want to go see the locks, which you do. If you're in Panama or Panama City, you absolutely need to go. Okay? And it's really easy to get to. You have your choice. You can take the bus, public transportation, a taxi, or drive if you have your own car. Public transportation is actually the easiest and, again, most budget-friendly option. You can get on a bus leaving directly from Albrook Station.
And the bus will say Miraflores on it. It's very hard to miss.
Yeah.
Okay, the title of the bus. It has Miraflores straight on the top. When you see the scroll for the name, you'll see Miraflores. And if you are ever lost at the Albrook bus station, ask. They're more than happy to figure out where you're going and put you on the right bus. No worries. The Miraflores bus, it's Bay D. Okay, and they're all labeled. And again, just ask. They'll point you in the right direction. It's 25 cents per person, but you need to have their card. So you need to have the Rappi Pass for Panama. Again, you can buy it there at the Albrook station. They have a ton of kiosks there where you can buy the card. It's $2 to buy the card, and then you can load money onto the card. They accept U.S. cash, by the way.
Panama's dollarized.
Yeah. And it's very easy. The bus, I mean, it's the last stop of the bus, so you just ride it all the way to the visitor center. They drop you off right in front of the door of the visitor center, and that's where you also pick up the bus. They drive like Panamanians, just in a very big bus, so they will corner quite fast. So if you're sitting down, you're fine, but if you're standing, hold on. Just recommended tip there, just hold on.
The other thing, too, if you don't want to deal with public transportation, you can take a taxi. Taxis are going to cost you, again, from Albrook Station is going to be, it's a major hub. There are hundreds and hundreds of taxis sitting outside of Albrook Station at Albrook Mall. You will not have a problem finding a driver that will want to take you there. All you do is say Miraflores, and they will know exactly. To give you an idea, it costs about $10 to go from Albrook Station to Miraflores, depending on the time of day, how many people you have, if you have any gear with you, anything like that. If you want to catch a taxi from Miraflores back to Albrook, it's going to cost a bit more, at about $15 US. And it depends really, again, on how popular of a time of day it is. If there are people waiting in line to take taxis, they're going to want more. If there's nobody out waiting, they're going to charge you less.
And traffic is going to be like a big key in that.
Yeah, so depending on if, just like any time, whether you're in Canada, Europe, the United States, the same times a day that you have rush hour going to work in the morning or coming back in the evening, Panama has the same thing. Traffic is horrible, though, so expect that if it is rush hour, they are going to ask for more.
And a little different than normal taxis, they are not metered. You are going to have to negotiate with your driver. So $10 to Miraflores is good. $15 probably coming back, because if you're coming back in the afternoon, you're going to hit the afternoon traffic. Uber does work in Panama, so you can always check that to get an idea of a price. And that's a pretty common traveled spot between Miraflores and Albrook Mall.
Finally, we also did this as well. We had a private vehicle that we owned in Panama because we lived there.
Or if you have a rental car.
Or if you have a rental car as well, yeah. This is actually one of the easiest drives to make, I think.
Yes.
I don't recommend driving in Panama City if you can help it. It's a nightmare. And, if you're coming from, like I said, Canada, Europe, U.S., and you're used to having traffic that flows, if you're used to having people that have, insurance, that follow the road rules or anything like that, this is not going to be that way. It's
a little, it's a little different, especially a little nuts, especially if you're doing the afternoon and you're in traffic, because they will occasionally turn in sides of the roads, 2 extra lanes. There's going to be buses stopping in and out to pick up people. Drop off people in random spots.
There's a high lack of
so you can
totally
drive in Panama City if you have a rental car. It's just a little different and not as orderly It's a little more chaotic. But, I mean, this, if you're coming from, if you know where Albrook is, the road out there, it's actually pretty simple.
Yeah. It's almost a direct, straight shot. You have to make, I think, 2 turns in Panama City from Albrook Station or downtown. It's super easy. And then you just take Omar Torrijos straight down. Like you don't turn off of it. You just follow it straight down in parallel canal. So it's probably one of the easiest places to get to if you're driving a rental vehicle.
And we recommend, if you are doing that, Waze
Yes.
is a little better than Google Maps in Panama City. Google Maps is getting better, but Waze was better, and at least allowing you to know kind of what the speed limit is.
Again,
in
as
the
I was
area,
mentioning,
'cause
there's
there's
no
not
signs.
As many signs as you would like.
Nor a formal address system. So you won't see street signs, you won't know where to turn unless you know where you're going. And that's another reason why driving in Panama City is a pain.
Yes. But parking is free, so if you do make it there, you can park on site. And there's not really an issue. There's normally a guard for the parking lot, so there's not really an issue with leaving your car there.
And if you need any more information on how to get a Rapid Pass, how to use the public transportation system in Panama, taking taxis, or driving a rented vehicle, links in the description below with our blog posts. There's a lot more detail that will answer almost all your questions, and probably a lot more.
And if you haven't yet, especially if you want to see more of us, or you like the video, hit the like for us, hit the subscribe button, pretty please. We are a new and small channel, but we really appreciate it.
So once you get there, how much does it cost? Again, this is your best budget option. If you compare it to other tours of the canal that can cost between $200 to $1,000 a person, this is a steal. It's going to be $20 US if you're an adult 12 or older, $12 for children 6 to 12, and if you're under 6 years old, it's free. One of the things that you get to see when you first get there is the museum, and you're saying it's over 4 or 5 stories. It's definitely multi-level, which it takes up a lot of the space.
And you can go through the really fascinating history of who owned the canal, what happened, when it started, what was the idea, what was done when, and you can follow the whole history up to the current history. There are escalators, so no worries getting between floors. There's also elevators in the main building too. There's a boat simulator if you want to drive it through the canal. But basically a lot of interactive stuff, and the history there is great, especially to see everything that's happened.
Oh, you never have to wait very long to see the movie.
But one tip here, especially if you are used to the tropical Panamanian weather, they are cranking that AC in that movie, so for that 15 minutes a light jacket might be good. Also light jackets, it can get breezy up on the observation deck.
The museum is fantastic, the movie's wonderful, but what you want to do is you want to see a ship or 2 or 3, and you can easily do that from this. There's just no words to describe it. It's phenomenal to see this massive multi-story ship coming through with 6 inches of space on either side of the ship, and we're not exaggerating. You couldn't barely stick your fist down between the ship and the side of the canal. Again, since everything is indoors or undercover, you can go year-round to visit Miraflores.
So Miraflores Locks themselves are open. The visitor center is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The last ticket is sold at 5:15 p.m. But because of how the lock works, they run one direction for 12 hours, then they flip everything and run the next direction. At 10:30 to that 2, there's no real ships going through because they're doing the change in direction. But if you get there, I mean, that's the perfect time to do the museum, do your movie. They're still open, and then just, get your ideal spot on the observation deck. Just be aware ships will not be going through from about 10:30 to 2.
Some of the other things that we recommend, just tips and tricks. This is another good budget thing to keep in mind. There's a snack bar on the very ground level that sells really good empanadas, sodas, coffees, sandwiches. We've eaten quite a few lunches there. Good prices, and the best part is that
when you're eating, you can watch the ships go by. You're right at the, and you realize how large those ships are compared to you. But again, budget-friendly option. especially for snacks. They're really actually decently priced. They are.
I think empanada was like $2. A can of soda was 75 cents.
Yeah, so they
Coffee is
really
$2.
didn't. It's not nuts. There
No.
is a restaurant also there. They do have a brunch. It is expensive.
Not a budget option.
No, this is not a budget option. We have not eaten there. But they do offer special events and stuff where you could go and dine in the evening, and you can, basically they put tables up on the observation deck. They have observation events. So it would be like a romantic option. So that could be something if you want an experience, but it's not going to be cheap.
So what happens is even though the Canal Museum and movie theater are open until I think 6 o'clock, the restaurant actually stays open I think until 8 or 9. You can check the website. We have links to all this in our Panama Canal blog, which we'll link down in the description. But if you are have children carrying bags, if you have limited mobility, this is a really good place to visit.
Yeah, there's escalators, there's elevators, no issues. Bathrooms are free, which is not always true, by the way, in Panama.
Or in many countries.
In many countries, yes. Potable water, so you can bring a water bottle and fill it up there, no issues there, and it's really a family-friendly event. So that's kind of our tips and tricks for how to visit Panama Canal. Again, if you have not hit that like button, please do so if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe. And then if you have any questions, any comments, please put them in the comments below. We can help out. Is there anything you enjoy doing? If you've already seen the canal, again, let us know. And thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.